I'd like to address, the fat acceptance, fat pride, body positivity movement, whatever you want to call it. This message is mainly aimed at you guys, but I also want to put the discussion out to everybody else who chooses to watch. So, on that note, guys, there's some things we need to talk about. All right, so let's set the record straight. First off, I don't think very many people hate you simply because you're fat. They may hate you for other reasons, but very few people actually hate you because you're fat. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that there are none, because there are people that, I don't like fat people. That part is true. But most of the things I take you're considering hate aren't really. Sure, people may not be attracted to you. I know I'm definitely not attracted to you. And you know what? That's all right. It's kind of funny because you see feminists on one hand will sit there and preach all day and all night about how men aren't entitled to sex, obviously true, and all this, but then turn around and will get furious at men for not being attracted to people like this. Not attracted at all. Sorry. Nope. I don't know any guy who is attracted to that. Sure, you have the BBW fetishes and the SBBW fetishes among a few guys. Okay, well, maybe that floats their boat. I'm not judging. However, from a biological standpoint, sex is how humans reproduce. From an evolutionary standpoint, how humans have gotten to be this far, have come this far as a species, is because of some evolutionary traits, especially including picking a mate to have sex with. Again, from a biological standpoint, that's the purpose of sex, to reproduce. Now, men are attracted, visual creatures primarily, but we're attracted to indicators of good health. Good skin, not crusty skin, not wrinkly skin, we want good hair on your head. Obviously, a woman's balding, it looks like she got the mange. That's not attractive to guys. The proper body features, everything in proper portions, proper breast size, proper hip to waist ratio. These are all indicators of good health. This is what our species has evolved to. Women, you have traits you're attracted to too. It's how you've evolved as well. It's how the species has gotten to the point where it is. Now, and by the way, I'm not just picking on women with this. The reason why I'm using women as an example so far is that there have been, the body positivity movement seems to have made it a woman-only issue. Guys, if you're that morbidly obese too, it's not healthy for you either. The thing is that men could probably get away with it a little bit more because women aren't looking for childbearing hips. But on my next point for this, I should say, telling you it's not healthy is not a form of hate. It's not a form of discrimination. It's not an injustice to you. I drink quite a bit. You watch my videos, you know that. If you've seen a few of my videos, you know that. It's no secret. My mother tells me all the time I drink too much. It's unhealthy. Does that mean my mother hates me now? Does that mean my mother's discriminating against me or oppressing me, as you feminists would put it? No. It's just her telling me I'm making an unhealthy choice. I smoke. I know I don't smoke inside my home. That's why you don't see me smoking on my videos a lot. I step outside to have a cigarette. But again, I smoke, you know. And by the way, is this all of a sudden discrimination? You know, is this hate? Now, granted, I think it's stupid that there's laws there requiring a Surgeon General's warning to be put on every pack of cigarettes. I figure at the age of 18, okay, yeah, I did start smoking at 16. Don't tell anybody. But, yeah, but at the age you start smoking, you should already understand the risks, you know. But anyway, yeah, somebody telling me that my smoking is not healthy for me is not an example of hate. It's not a form of discrimination or oppression. It's just simply saying, hey, you know, it's not a healthy choice to make. Oh, and by the way, when was the last time you walked into any building and it said no fat people sign? Or it said, this is a fat person free campus. This is a whale free campus. You don't see those signs. Not to the degree you see the no smoking signs. So please, spare me on how you're discriminated against because of your weight. You know, and by the way, you do have an ability to change that. It's not hard at all. Yeah, I had fun that day, but you know, the other thing is that it does do you some good to get out. I'm not saying you have to be a super outdoorsy person like me at times, you know. But, you know, if you just turn off the TV occasionally, put down the large pizza, put down the 2-liter soda, eat a little bit more healthier, and just go out and do some stuff aside from just sitting on the TV, you'll notice a change, you know. You will. And you'll feel a lot better. I mean, you won't be a supermodel or anything, but, you know, you'll notice an improvement. You know, and, God. You know, and, yeah, sometimes you fall down. Sometimes things don't go the way you planned. Sometimes life ain't perfect. But it's the same way with everybody. And I can see this one going up on a fail compilation. God. I know I probably shouldn't have put that one in there, but oh well. But the point is, guys, is that it needs to lead to consider getting outdoors. Yeah, and I get it. Not everybody's going to look like this. Just the same as not everybody's going to be as wealthy as this. That doesn't mean we shouldn't give up on aspiring to look better, be healthier, any more than we should give up on the free market just because not everyone is going to become as wealthy as Bill Gates. This woman at the age of 19 had to be cut out of her own flat in the UK. There had to be specialized scaffolding set down and other specialized equipment to get her out. She had to be transported to the hospital for life-saving surgery. Emergency life-saving surgery. And a specialized ambulance because a regular ambulance could not transport her. The operation took 40 people to do, and it cost the National Healthcare Services quite a bit of money. Unnecessary money that could have been avoided had she just not chose to be like that. She just chose to not make those choices that got her that obese and that healthy, because that surgery was needed specifically because of a condition that was brought on by her own lifestyle choices. Now, this is also an argument I have against government-run health care. I remember when the Obamacare debates were going on years ago, people were like, well, What if somebody doesn't have health insurance, can't afford a life-saving surgery? Nobody wanted to talk about, okay, well, how did they get in that position? And this is a clear example. This woman cost the British taxpayers quite a bit of money for something that was unnecessary. So, why should we be forced to pay for the consequences, the bad choices that these people make? I mean, I understand that, she could die without it, but she chose that path, since we're a free country, and yes, you're supposed to have the freedom to make your own choices in life, can we at least agree that everyone else shouldn't soak the consequences of those choices at least? And I understand that there are people that, aren't going to look like that person in the in that ad that feminists complain about. I understand that, no matter how hard they try. But again, it doesn't mean people shouldn't aspire to that. Well, the body positivity movement has mainly been focused on women. And I gotta say, it seems like it's mainly for some pretty vain reasons. The lifestyle that causes obesity is bad for you no matter what your gender is, right? Now, the man in that photo consumed 10 times the amount of food a normal adult should consume in a day. You can't tell me that, he was just fat because, he was that obese just simply because he got the bad pick in life, or just simply because he was unlucky. The choices he made led to that. And the man even admitted his lifestyle was killing him. And by the way, the man is dead. He died of pneumonia. And before you tell me, obesity and pneumonia aren't linked. Well, guess what? The lifestyles are. The very same lifestyle that got him that obese increased his risk of contracting pneumonia and severely reduced his risk of surviving that very pneumonia. Now, say what you will. Oh, by the way, he also cost the NHS quite a bit of money unnecessarily. So, say what you will. I believe we should live in a free country. Our lifestyle shouldn't be dictated to us. But at the same time, the least we can do is be reasonable about our lifestyle choices. Understand that, guess what? They are lifestyle choices, and they're not all good. In fact, some of them are very bad, very detrimental. I believe that our freedom got us to being in such a good position. I believe those values very much did contribute to us having possibly the best quality of life that we've ever had in human history. No other point in time in history have people been able to even get that obese. At no point have humans been afforded the luxury of getting to be so inactive and yet having such an abundant supply of food and such an abundant lifestyle. And some of us just haven't figured out how to handle that yet. I believe in freedom wholeheartedly. I don't believe we would have gotten to this point without freedom. I sincerely don't. And yes, while I don't want to dictate to these people how they live their life, at the same time, I don't think it's right for them to expect everyone else to pay the consequences for their life. You know? I give my advice. This is not hating on them. And yes, they're free to ignore my advice. That is true. And guess what? The person it's really hurting is them and those that care about them. Those are the only people that lifestyle choice is harming. They're not harming me. Up until, we get government-run health care. Yeah, then it kind of gets on my nerves. Then it really gets on my nerves. This is one of the many reasons why we should not have government-run health care. All right. Now, on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. I think that if you've watched to this point and you still haven't gotten the message, it's going to be very hard to convey the message to you any further. Y'all take her easy. Thank you for watching. Take care now.